Who are we here with today?
Seth Bible.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You, from what I heard around, through the grapevine, that you're a bit of a professional golfer.
I'm not a professional.
That's kind of what I heard.
No, I'm not sure who you heard that from, but I'm not. No, I'm former collegiate golfer.
Former collegiate golfer. That's big. That's big.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Well, where are we right now? What is this place that we're in?
We are actually in Greenville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mr. Golf.
Mr. Golf.
1103 Tuscaloosa Boulevard. This is my family's golf shop.
Wow.
We have owned, and my father has owned and operated Mr. Golf since 1987.
Holy.
So I kind of grew up here,
Mm-hmm.
grew up around the game of golf.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But he's owned and operated it for, what is that, 38 years? It'll be 38 years this year. Or it might have been 1988, so it might be 37 years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Okay. But you grew up around Mr. Golf.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's what we called him, Mr. Golf.
That's what he goes by. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Answers the phone even at 9 o'clock at night at Mr. Golf.
Yeah, that's what he's called. Yeah. Has that growing up playing golf? Did you feel any pressure from being Mr. Golf Jr.
That's true.
To baby golf to go and play golf, or was that was it natural? Like how was that growing up?
I'll say this, from the time I was born, I would have like the little tykes set and stuff, but I'll give my dad credit, and I'm really glad he didn't. I never felt any pressure to play.
Yeah.
We would go hit range balls a lot when I was a little boy. I'm talking like 5 or 6. Up until then, we were hitting a lot of range balls, but I didn't really have much of an interest in it. I'd rather play other sports, and he never pushed me into it.
Uh-huh.
That's the thing. I mean, he was a pretty good player himself, but he never pushed me into it. I would say I actually started playing right before 8th grade year.
Yeah.
8th grade year is when I'd played baseball and basketball growing up, and I didn't like that anymore, and I was just kind of sitting around, and it's weird to say like you were 11 or 12. I was 12 years old, and I didn't really feel like I had any like purpose or anything. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, you know what, like I might as well play golf.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Dad, can I go play? Can we go play some? And he got me a new kind of full used set. He just cobbled together, and we went out and we started hitting balls. And then we played a father-son tournament, and that was the first ever, the true first golf tournament I ever played in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing in middle school team. We didn't have a team at Greenview, so I came to Greenville Middle, and I was like a homeschool rule sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then at Crockett with Coach Pettit, played all 4 years, and I got a lot better freshman and sophomore year to the point where I thought I wanted to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was good enough to go to Milligan and play. And that was kind of my entryway into Milligan, was to play for them, and everything else came after that.
Yeah. I have no clue about how sport is it like team golf in like high school and in college? Like, are you on a team? Like, are points calculated between you all? Like, how does that work?
So this is how it works. So in high school and college golf, you have 5 players basically, and the low 4 scores count. So you add them all together.
Okay.
And so if you have just a regular match, in high school it might be 3 or 4 teams. Mm-hmm. Whoever has the lowest team score wins. Whoever has the lowest individual score wins. Now, of course, there's a lot of individual tournaments you can play growing up. There's this thing called the Sneds Tour, and that just works like a normal golf tournament, just an individual. And college works the same way. Just the low, I got 5 players and the low 4 scores count. Mm-hmm. That's just typically how it works.
Yeah, and back to like your high school experience, like when in there. Was it just like how much fun you were having that you said, "Oh yeah, I want to go and play in college," or was it just like sort of, "Okay, I'm good. I might as well keep doing my thing in college"?
Yeah, I would say sophomore year, I got a lot better really quickly in the summer between freshman and sophomore year. And a lot of that was due to I was playing with Braden Clever a lot, and we would play. I mean, golf practice would be at Graysburg, which is about a 25-minute drive from my house, which is in northern Greene
That's
County.
That's Chucky, right?
Yeah, Raytown, kind of,
okay.
yeah.
Real far back now.
We would have practice at 7:45 in the morning. We'd play 9 holes with the team, and then we just wouldn't quit playing. We would, a lot of other people, they would go home, or they'd keep hitting range balls. We'd go hit a bucket of range balls, and we'd go play 18 more, and sometimes 27 more. And that summer, I improved a lot. And that's when I thought, what if I did try to play? But I didn't have any, delusions that I could play in Division I.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I could play Tusculum, maybe I could play Milligan or King or somewhere kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then junior year, when COVID happened, I got to play a lot more because I got a job at Twin Creeks, and so I was playing all the time. And I thought, I don't know, man, maybe I could try it. But what if I did? And then junior year, started playing some tournaments around here, and started winning.
Yeah.
And that's when I started winning them. I thought, maybe I could do this, and that's when I began to talk around with people, and I found out maybe I could go to Milligan, and I got in touch with Coach Wallingford there, and that's when I tried to take the next step. I don't think there was like an aha moment, like, oh, I could play in college. It was more so, I think it was more so, I got better quickly, and I started a lot later than a lot of kids did, and I thought, I don't want to quit doing this. Yeah. Why would I want to quit doing this thing? I want to do the most. So that's kind of how it happened. In a way.
Okay, yeah, sure. High school. Let me think. What was that? High school golf versus collegiate golf. Like, the jump from. I don't know how that works. Like, you play against other schools in high school, and then you play against other people in college. Yeah. How is like the jump for like skill gap wise? Because I know, being a basketball guy, it is an absurd skill gap between high school and college, no matter what level.
Here's the thing I would say the best guys, and I was playing NAIA golf, so I'm sure it's unbelievable at different places, and I know it is. You go to a Division I place. The difference is kind of substantial because we were all our number 1s and number 2, bags in high school. Yeah. And then we go to college, and you're playing a lot of 9-hole matches in college. Everything's 18 or more in a day, and it's year round instead of just the fall. Yeah. So it's far more professionalized compared to high school. The skill gaps, there would always be kids in high school, the number 1s at, good schools would always be good. And at David Crockett, we weren't very good, to be honest. Okay. But, yeah, it's similar in a lot of ways, but it's different in some really substantial ways, and less so the competition element, and more so, like, how much it affects your life. Because, in high school golf, it's like, all right, get out at 12:45, run to the van, we're going to Kingsport to play DV, and you do that once or twice a week for 2 months, basically. Yeah. In college, we get to campus a week early, and we'd play all week qualifying, and every time you play, it's qualifying. Everything mattered, and that was different maybe at Milligan than other schools, but every match or round we would play would have a lot of importance on who would actually make the team and travel. And so when you go play a team, it's not like we're having a match with Tusculum or King. We're going to South Carolina, Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Florida sometimes. It's a far bigger time commitment than it is in high school.
It's taxing.
I would say when it's great, it can be even more fun than high school was. But for most of the time, just the baseline. And I mean, we're playing qualifying matches in February, early February, late January. And when you're doing that, it becomes a lot more like a job than it is fun. High school golf was fun. College golf was work.
Yeah, I understand. But like, did you feel like going through college and playing in college? Did you feel like it was like not entirely, but kind of taking away like your love for the game?
Oh, it absolutely did. Yeah. And that's actually what happened. Going into my senior year. In freshman, sophomore year, we had good teams, and I wasn't playing very well, and I wasn't able to, and I was on the brink of I was like the 6th man. We had like 10 guys. I was like the 6th man, and I almost went to a couple tournaments. And we'd always get to play our home tournament because everybody would play, both A and B team. But for the traveling tournaments, only the 5 best got to go. And I was on the cusp of getting to go, and I never got to go. So my goal was always, I just want to make some teams and play. And then junior year, I finally got to do that. And I realized, wow, I'm missing a lot of school doing this.
Yeah.
I am missing out on a lot of things that I love doing. And this thing that I really do love doing, I'm not able to enjoy it as much as I used to because everything matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even at this smaller level, everything matters.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where I kind of began to hate it. I really did. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, it's going to be more of the same next year. I'm going to be playing a lot because we're losing a lot of seniors. Like, I'd be playing every match. I'd be gone a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go to graduate school, and I got to worry about admissions and applications, things like that. And I decided to not play my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and it was and I still don't know if that was the right or wrong decision to make, but I thought, I don't want to hate golf and not want to play again.
Yeah.
And that was hard for me to do. And I decided not to do it. And I think I'm glad I did it, but I miss it a lot. I miss that competition. But yeah, when you're doing that, it's really hard to just think, wow, I get to do something a lot of people don't get to do. Like my dad didn't get to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I should be thankful. But when you're in a very, particular environment like that, it's hard to sit back and look at that, from an upwards point of view.
Yeah, everything feels like it's just crashing in on you.
It does. I've got 6 papers due on Friday, but I've got to go to Elizabethton and play, and it's 45 degrees. And it's windy. There's a lot of things that I feel like I need to do that I wasn't able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was a selfish choice. I don't know. I've thought a lot about it since then, but I'm glad. I'm honestly glad that I did stop playing and forego my senior season, because when I got to play because I wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized how much I actually love golf.
Mm-hmm.
And it is probably a lot of my fault for, letting it get to that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely can do that, because I think golf is a lot, and you can play pickup basketball or something, and not play with the team, just go out and just have a little 3-on-3 game where you're just going out to shoot.
Yeah.
But with golf, like when you're in competition like that, it's a pretty rigid sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much more to golf than just the competitive team element of it.
Yeah.
So, and I miss that.
Okay. But since then, like, it's been like 2 years since you left?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Year and a half since. Have you found yourself just kind of going out and enjoying golf, not thinking about any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, it's crazy how much.
It's like a relief.
I enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, whereas it was a stress causer, it's now a stress reliever in a way.
In like a year. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it mattered, and it was almost instant. Like the summer, and part of it too is I was going to England in the summer, and I wouldn't be able to practice like I needed to, because we have to practice all summer. But when I got back, and I finally got to play for the first time in a long time, I had more fun than I'd had. It felt like I was in high school again. Mm-hmm. And it's really rare to think about a feeling that you had when you were 15 or 16 years old, and then you're 22 or 21, and then you suddenly feel that really strong emotion again. And so I've been playing ever since, and I've been playing a lot. I've played so much golf since I quit. Like this summer, I played all the time. Yeah. It got to be concerning, honestly, how much golf I was playing.
Yeah.
And if you had sat me down like in February of 2023 or 24 or whatever, and you're like, you will never you would not believe how much golf you're going to be playing in 2 years' time. Yeah. I would have been shocked. I would have been I honestly think I'd play again for 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was that stressful for me.
Yeah.
And then once I actually got out there, and you can hear the sound, just the audio quality of being out there, just the visual quality of it, especially late afternoon. No matter the time of year you're playing, there's something not of this world that's there, but you're still deeply in the world.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded by something that's so contradictory. It's highly manicured, but it's also natural at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like, this could be a park, but we've got like these metal rods and this weird wound ball that we're getting around. I don't know. You feel connected to people that come before you, like my dad and other people in my family, and then people I've admired, and then your friends, and then you imagine like, well, what if I had a family and like I had a son or a daughter who wanted to play, like, and I could get that same feeling my dad had with me.
Yeah. You
feel this kind of connective tissue with golf that I don't know if you can get with a lot of other sports.
Yeah, that's interesting. You were probably I'm just guessing, but like, were you like playing like a similar amount in this past year than that you were when you were playing like year round on a team? Like, in total amount of times you go to like the course or whatever?
Probably playing a little bit less. You're probably playing a little bit less because, like, you remember how bad. Okay, so for context, we're doing this on November 2nd, and the weather was really bad this week.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible. It was rainy. It was wet. It was cold. It was windy. I didn't play any at all.
Yeah, yesterday was beautiful though.
But yesterday was nice. If I was still playing college golf, we would have played at least 4 of the 5 days that week. Running there after class.
Okay, backing off that. How often are you like going out and playing it? Like, I know it's a college sport, so you're practicing every day.
Yeah.
But like, how often are you going out and playing tournaments?
Okay.
It's like once every other week or every month or something?
Probably. So it's a fall and spring sport in college, which is a big difference.
That sounds absurd.
Yeah. It is. There's a, especially in a place like we are with the climate we are, where the weather's so bad in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I know Milligan, they just finished their season last week. So from late August until the end of October, they're playing about 2 tournaments a month.
Okay.
with one tournament at home. So let's just say, all right, so you're playing at least playing what? You're probably playing about 6 tournaments, and the tournaments are typically Monday, Tuesday, so you end up traveling on Saturday or Sunday, and you're going and you're playing a practice round on Sunday, and then a lot of times you're either playing 18 holes or 36 holes on Monday, and then 18 the next day, and you're walking.
Yeah.
A lot of them, most of the time.
You're not taking a cart. You're walking.
No.
What they don't let you, or like, well, I don't get it.
That's
just
part
of the
part
sport.
that's just the rules. Like in high school, we'd always walk.
Okay, it's just part of how the game works.
Yeah, that is something I do firmly believe, that you should be walking when you play most of the time, unless you're trying to get as many holes in as you can. But yeah, and so that's just the fall season. Okay, and then in Monday through Friday, and a lot of times on Saturday too, we would be out there practicing every day, but 3 of those days we would have qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
So like every hole you play, every score you turn in, like that matters, and that's factored into your average. So it's not like you don't really get an off time, and like, because when you're qualifying, like you have to, it's legitimate golf, like, and it matters, like your score counts.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in that on mode, because a lot of times you're just out there practicing, just hitting shots. You can kind of have a good time, and you can just hit a few shots and just try to get better. But when you're qualifying, it can be really stressful, especially when you're coming from class at 2:00 and you got to drive out there and you don't get to warm up. We're waiting for you on the tee. Okay, let's peg it in the ground. Let's go. Put it in the air. Which that's maybe just the reality of playing at a low level of college golf.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the fall, and usually the weather's great.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The weather's great, and there's a lot more time in the day. But then you go to the spring season, which we start workouts in January, late January, and then in February we're out there playing. So a lot of times, I remember one time we played, and it was 37 and it was snowing. And like we were like, Coach, do we really have to play in this? And he was like, yeah, go out and this counts. Go out and play.
Wow.
And so in the spring season, the thing is, spring season's way worse because you're playing golf from February until. And the conference tournament is typically the week after graduation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you're playing that much, that constant. And that's the other thing too. If you're not making teams, like, it's one thing, but if you're making teams, then you're traveling, you're missing, at least 4 days of school a month, and probably more.
Yeah. I don't do, or you probably know more about this than I do, but like, are there any other sports that go year round and just do as much stuff as golf does? Like year round in terms of you're playing actual things that matter all the time.
Yeah, the only comparison I can think of is like cross country.
Yeah.
But it's one thing with cross country because like I remember my friends and I lived with a bunch of runners. When they wouldn't have organized practice, they'd be like, okay, you've got a 3-mile run today, or you just have like a shakeout today, and you do it on your own throughout the day when it's convenient for your schedule.
Yeah.
But with golf, we all had class in the morning, and then we all got to go play in the afternoon. Rain or shine, we're going out there basically, and sometimes it would get canceled. If it was, unfathomably bad. But yeah, cross country is the only comparison I can think of, and those things last. I mean, and you think about just a practice, a lot of runner like cross country practice that lasts 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, golf practice, even we're playing 9 holes, it's lasting at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
And most of the time you're playing 18, which is lasting 4 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. On top of all the travel that you have to do if you're playing elsewhere and stuff, how long are these days? Like when you're going out, this is a tournament day. How long are these days where you're waking up and you're going out? How long is that gonna last? Like when are you gonna get home? Factoring in driving and whatnot.
Yeah. So let's just say if it's a tournament day. We're staying at a hotel. Staying at a hotel, and most of the time let's just say if it's a normal 18-hole day, you're probably going to get started before noon, and then you get done at 5, and usually lunch is provided at the tournament, but then you just get, the coach just orders just a bunch of pizzas, and you eat, and you have to do homework, go to bed, do it the next day. So you're probably there, but a lot of the days we'd have 36-hole days. Because 54-hole tournaments, they give you more ranking points than just 18-hole tournaments. And they don't want to have us there for 3 days. Of course, a lot of these golf courses don't want to close their golf course for 3 days, so they'll just have it at 2.
Yeah.
I remember we had a 36-hole day. It was a Monday, and the weather was poor. And I remember getting up at 6:30. Got up at 6:30. I had a tee time. I had to get there at 8.
Yeah.
We all had to leave at the same time. Got there. We got breakfast on the way. Had to get up, shower, get out there, get dressed, everything. We had to warm up, which was 30 minutes at least. And then you go in, put it in the air, we're going to play. And a lot of times it's really slow out there because there's so many teams and groups out there playing. So the rounds will last 5 hours. I remember one day I was out there from 8, and there was one actually at Link Hills, which Tusculum played, which is in Greenville. We had a 36-hole day. I remember I teed off at 9. And I finished at 7:30 because we played 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And once you finish your round, you got to go back out there and keep playing. So you're just keep going. And we walked the whole time.
Yeah, I bet you felt like you wanted to die.
I think I walked like 20 miles that day.
Holy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how like a 36-hole day goes. And it's even worse when you're out of town and you have to, go to a hotel and do homework too and eat. And shower and get yourself cleaned up and clean your clubs and get ready to go out the next day.
Yeah, man, I knew like all college sports are gonna be hard, right? Because you gotta do classes and stuff. But I had no idea that like college golf was like that intense.
Yeah, and we weren't even very good. That's the thing. We weren't even very good. Which, so you start thinking like, what are we doing this for? But the good was really really good.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, like there is a feeling, the feeling that I miss the most that I don't think I'll ever get back again. It's like even if you're playing bad, but your score's going to count, you got to get it in the house, and you don't have your best stuff, and you're just trying to limp home and just try to make pars, just make pars. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, you're dragging. You know that feeling of like you've got like a 6-footer for par on like your 33rd hole of the day. Oh. And you're trying to get it in, and you're exhausted, but like your adrenaline and your pride and your honor, and like as goofy as that sounds, but like you are playing for like yourself and your team in a way. No, not in a way. You are, and all this practice that you put in, and you're just trying to make it to the house, just get it in there, like put a number in, like get it in the house with. Break 80 and just have your score matter and help. You're just trying to help. It's that feeling I really miss. Even like playing bad. I miss playing bad out there sometimes, So, yeah. And maybe I got like Stockholm syndrome with it, but like, yeah, I just, man, there were like that day I was telling you about at Link Hills, that 36-hole day. and I was playing good that day, but I was thinking, like, just get it in. Just get it in. Come on, just. And I mean, and you get increasingly just more pumped up and amped up, especially as you know exactly where the finish line is.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no timer. Like, you're not like, oh, I got 2 minutes left. Like, no, I've got to make it through these 3 holes. And you're sweating all over.
Yeah.
And it's the weather could be terrible too, and you're just trying to just like crawl home.
Yeah.
That was a feeling that I don't know if there's any sport besides almost maybe like distance running that you can compare it to, but it's built up over 8 or 10 hours of the context of what you've done before and what your teammates have done before.
Yeah, I can imagine that. It's wild.
It's weird. It's like test cricket. I'm serious. It feels like a really long like cricket match. Like those ones that last like 4 or 5 days. Like I can't imagine what that feels like, but I can't imagine this. And I would imagine that I would think that they might be similar emotions.
Yeah, I feel you. What is it like? I always thought golf was like a solitary sport, like you're just out there by yourself and stuff. But like, how is it different being on a team of golfers? With like, it's not like your swing only affects you; it affects the whole team.
It's all the emotions, all the stakes ramp up. And what I mean by that is, if I go out and play today, like I'm playing against par, and if I don't break par, or if I shoot even, that's okay. I can go back and do it tomorrow. But when you're on a team and you have to be concerned and thinking about what your teammates are shooting, and you have to contribute, and especially a lot of times if you're, a borderline player and you just made a team, all the good that you feel when you play well, it's ramped up.
It's multiplied
by 10 or 15. Because if you're on a good team and you're playing with guys that you really love, then you want to play well for them too. It's not just about yourself. Yeah,
but if you're like playing bad, does that
it makes it
that much worse?
Gosh, it makes it even worse. Yeah. Unless it's like I said, like 4 scores count, and if you're playing bad, you might think, well, my score doesn't count this round. Like, it's whatever, and that happens. You're exactly right, and that happens. But you still feel even worse, and you feel like you let them down. Van rides back from a golf course, or bus rides, or whatever. If you played well, they can be just pure euphoria. But if everybody plays poor, I mean, it's like you're in a funeral procession.
Yeah.
It's and complete with however somebody grieves or whatever, that is factored in. Somebody might, joke about it. Somebody, might find it funny. Some people may not talk the entire ride, just put their headphones in. Yeah, all the emotions you feel playing for yourself, they get turned up like that.
Yeah.
And that makes it more difficult, but also more rewarding to play well. My last tournament, right before I quit it, that I was, it was our home tournament, and I was the 3rd man.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of it right there because that's the most proudest memory of it. That's the one tournament that I was on a team that we won.
Yeah.
And that was the last tournament I ever played. And it's framed at the house.
Oh, so it's tape. I was gonna.
And I did not play well.
Yeah.
I did not play well. But my last round, they needed me, and my score would count. And I knew that this would be my last tournament. And I'm coming down the stretch, and that's all I was thinking about. I was like, I just have to get it. I have to get it in the house. And we ended up winning. We ended up winning by like 3 shots, but I made birdie on the last hole. Yeah. And there's never been like this weird mixture of joy and relief. And there was a finality to it. Yeah. And when you were doing it, you knew that was going to be your last tournament. Yeah. Yeah. And it just felt like so good to just. So it's like a mixture of being done, but also like being done as like, oh, I'm finally done with this. I can focus on school. But like also the finality of I got there. Yeah. I won with my guys. Yeah. It helped. Great. Yeah. And I contributed. And I remember when I got to campus, I was just like, I just want to contribute. And So, there's regret, and those positive memories do outweigh those negative memories.
Yeah.
And, no matter what happened after that, that kind of, fear, like, well, did I let them down by not playing the next year? Like, that's taken away. Especially every time I look at that picture. And, we didn't play good as a team, but we still won. And that was all that mattered.
Yeah.
It was, I was sitting, that's one of my best friends. You can't see it on the screen, but on this picture there, I'm second from the left and us 5. And my roommate is second from the right.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my best friends in the world that I met on the team from Sweden is on the right, on the far right. And then one of my best friends from Indiana, he's on the far left. And, none of us played as good as we could have, but we still won.
Mm-hmm.
And we got it in, and we won our home tournament at a place where I play golf now still.
Yeah.
So I'll always remember, every shot from that day.
Yeah.
I always remember every, hole putt I missed, putt I made, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Those memories still like rush over me every time I just see, not only that picture, but just see that place.
Yeah, that's dope. You would you say you've met like some of your best friends playing golf?
Oh yeah. There's no doubt about it. Not only just people that I've met on my own, but like people that from Mr. Golf in the store have introduced me to like my dad's customers and friends that I play golf with, and people who've had a lot of influence on my life and taken me to places to play golf.
Yeah.
That I would never have been able to. I met my roommates at Milligan through golf.
Mm-hmm.
The friends that I still hang out with and talk to every day from high school,
mm-hmm.
it's because golf was where it started.
Yeah.
It's just I think a lot of people have like this kind of cynical view of golf is like, well, you can really, all the deals are made on the golf course, and I understand that, but that kind of negates the actual role of bringing people together. And that's one of the things that I do that I don't like about golf is I know there's a big barrier to entry with the price and everything. And then also with golf does reek sometimes of exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good. But I do think that there's so many people that play golf that you might not know. And it's not they golf, they play golf.
Yeah.
That's something I hate as well, is when people use golf as a verb.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
Okay, I won't.
I'm not talking. Don't do it.
Yeah.
There's I can name 35 people I've met because of golf, and I consider close, and cool places I've got to go because of golf.
Yeah.
And if that's the one, if I'm 85 years old, if I live that long and I'm not able to play golf, at least I'll still have those people to think about in the times when I got to play golf with them.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's just such a human sport.
Yeah. I was piggybacking on what you said about exclusivity. I was thinking like golf clubs. All right. These things are expensive. Like I'm looking at the price tag. Like how much does like having a good like set of clubs actually affect like how you play? Or can you just buy like a set on Facebook Marketplace and be good?
I think it's the man or woman holding the club that matters far more than the club.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as long as your clubs are, I would say, are within 10 years of they're 10 years old or less.
Yeah.
You're in decent shape, or maybe even 20. And some people I know who are good players still play clubs from 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think what matters the most is learning how to hit what you have, and taking care of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have the set of irons I got when I was a sophomore in high school, and I've never went away from it.
Really?
And I've never, permanently.
Okay.
I thought about trying other things, but ultimately I always come back to them.
Yeah.
So I think the equipment matters. It does. The golf ball matters a lot. But I think at first, you just need to find things. However you can maximize your own joy in playing, and I think your joy will be dampened if you feel like I spent all this money on these clubs and I can't hit them.
Mm-hmm.
If that does matter. So I think I don't think it matters a ton. I do think the technology is improving rapidly,
Yeah.
which is another problem with sustainability, because the golf ball goes way too far, and we can't build golf courses that are long enough to actually.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn your television on Sunday, you see how far guys are hitting it now, and it's a completely unsustainable path. But for the average player, I don't think it matters that much, as long as you improve with what you have. And then every once in a while, and if you do get new clubs and you're a decent player, I would say go get fit for them, get them, specially customized for you.
They do it. They do that here, right?
Yes, we have a demo day in May. In May at Winkle's Country Club. You can come and try the new equipment, and there will be representatives of all the major companies there and you can arrange times, and they can look at your numbers. There's a lot of new information technology that shows, okay, you will hit this club with this different shaft in it better. This is the golf ball you ought to hit.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can drown yourself in that information.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like doing that, but I know a lot of people do. So
yeah,
I would say don't get too awful fixated on the golf clubs you're hitting.
Yeah, that's been a problem with like my friends who are like trying to get better, and they're like so frustrated with it. They just buy new clubs, buy new irons, buy.
Yeah.
And they're still frustrated.
Yeah.
You know?
We can sell you any club you want to in here, but we can't sell you a game.
Yeah.
I would say investing in lessons is a far more worthwhile investment, worthwhile strategy in improving your enjoyment of the game of golf instead of just going out and buying a new driver or 3-wood or putter or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. You said you had a year of eligibility left?
I did, yeah.
Have you ever thought about coming back and playing at ETSU?
No, I'm not. I am not good enough to play at ETSU.
What?
No, I'm not. Trust me,
Are they too cracked or something?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yes. I was a middling NAIA player. You know. Yeah.
Do they even do like D2 golf, or is it just
yes? There's NAIA Division III, Division II.
Wow.
Division I golf. Now the highest level in NAIA golf is probably better than most D3 teams. I would say. It just kind of there would be good competition everywhere. But oh no, there's levels to this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It would be like going to, I don't know, me playing ETSU would be what would be it would be like someone going to Tusculum University and like playing baseball or football and deciding to go and play football at Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh yeah, I can go.
That big of a jump?
It's that big of a jump.
Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys, and God bless them, they're good.
Yeah.
But they've played a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gavin Tiernan at ETSU was in the semifinals of the British Amateur Championship.
Yeah.
Like that's a level I will never. He plays a game that I am utterly unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and even the best, there will occasionally be. I remember there was a guy named John Houck who went to, I forget that he went to Tennessee Wesleyan, so we played them there in our conference.
Mm-hmm.
He almost won the NAIA National Championship, and he transferred to UTC for his last 2 years. UTC's good, but they're not as good as ETSU. But that was still a major league to go to.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you'll have a guy. There was a guy at King, Samuel Truba, who initially came to ETSU, transferred to King, then he transferred to UTC. And he's a good player. My first roommate was from Spain, and he, after his first year, transferred to a place called Tarleton State in Texas, which was a new D1 program. And for his last year of eligibility, he got his COVID year or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's a UAB now. But those are that's 1% of guys. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm not good enough. Okay. And I've never had any illusions about that.
Yeah. Okay, something I've noticed with golf is that it's not like you don't usually see like it being like trendy, like going up then going down, going up, going down. Yeah. It's just kind of consistent. Yeah. Consistently like being popular, right, among all people.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's the sport that's just consistently massive and popular among all walks of life, not all people.
Which I will say this, and this is not just anecdotal. I think like the USGA's did some reports too. Since COVID, especially, like it actually has exploded.
Yeah.
In the amount of new people playing.
Yeah, because of the
question.
distance.
Yeah, and people have kept playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you'll see at public places, you know, a lot like prices are going up. A lot less tee times are available.
Mm-hmm.
And then at private clubs, a lot more people want to join. So there are a lot more people, and I see it in Dad's business. You know, 2019 versus 20 and 21. Dad's been in business for 35 plus years. 2021 was his best year because of how many people were wanting to play. So it's gone up, but I would say that you're dead on with saying there is this consistent. There's always going to be a consistent like class of people who play golf.
Yeah.
You know, class is probably the wrong word because I think it has a lot of connotation, like
because when you think golf, you think money, you think
the money class plays golf, which for the most part, like you do have to have a certain amount of money to play, but I think a lot of it is there's a family element of it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think a lot of parents pass it down to their children. Ask anybody who plays golf regularly, all the time, you know, at a high level, like how did you start playing? And most of the time, it will have been because a family member has an uncle or a dad or a mom or something, or a grandparent. So there's a lot of it's generational, and the other thing too is that it does not require. I'm not very athletic. I think I have good hand-eye coordination, but I'm not very athletic. I couldn't go and start playing a pickup game and like be decent.
Yeah.
I could stop playing golf for a couple of years and then pick it up and still be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is, and it doesn't take a ton. It takes a toll on your body if you're playing a ton.
Mm-hmm.
But the game of golf has kind of moved to a place to where, like, the least amount of physical ability and like physical taxation is necessary to play now.
Yeah.
So people can play for a long time. I mean, there's this. It's not a stereotype either. Like older retired people play golf.
Yeah.
Because you're still able to.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely get worse, but you can still enjoy it in a way that you couldn't go out and play basketball or soccer. Or
yeah, because like the timeline for playing basketball competitively, you know.
Oh yeah.
You'll be lucky is not the right word. You'll look at someone's twice if you see like a 50-year-old out there playing.
Yeah.
In golf, no,
that's unk.
That is unk. If in golf you got like if there's like an 80-year-old there, I mean, I might look at them a little weird, but like, you know, it's not like that crazy, you know. Old people play golf. That's just part of it.
That's just what old people do.
Yeah, it's the only time I see them, you know.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, that's the only exercise they get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just think. I think a lot of people play for their entire life. A lot of people, it's the game of a lifetime. It's the game of a lifetime. Yeah. It is. It kind of is. You know, in a cliched way, that's true. It is the game of a lifetime. So I think that's what it is. There's something very appealing about it. And golf is not. There's not one version of golf that somebody can enjoy. If somebody young wants to go out and drink, and play golf as an excuse to go and drink, I might frown at that, but that's something that happens, and that's just a lot of what happens. If somebody wants to go and make deals on the golf course, I might frown at that.
Yeah.
But that happens. You know, there's so many different interests and reasons to play.
Do you think that those like young guys going out there dicking around on the golf course and like drinking and stuff and like people and like rich people going out and making deals out there, you think that kind of ruins the sanctity of the game or whatever? Or do you just kind of like, it just kind of miffs you and then you go on about your day?
It depends where you're at.
Uh-huh.
If I go to a very cheap public course, I know what I'm getting into.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to... I'm a member of John City Country Club.
He said it.
If I go out there and play, and I see that, I will be much more annoyed. Especially and like I say this as I'm like 22, and I sound like I'm 75.
You sound unk right now.
I say I do. But if I do see that, if I'd see that out there, especially the young guys drinking, playing music in the cart should be outlawed.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's so terrible. But if I see that Johnson City, I will be far more annoyed and offended because I think it's less about the sanctity of the game versus the place you're at. There's a time and place for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You go out to Pine Oaks, you go out to the creek, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Like it's
Andrew Johnson Golf Course.
Yeah, 100%. You know what you're getting into. But if you go to a place where, especially if it's a public place that you paid a lot of money at, like if you go to Cattails where you pay $65 a round to go and play, and that's out there, you get a little, and it doesn't bother. This is the problem. This is the thing. It's only bad if they're slowing you up and they're not letting you play through. If they're respectful and let you play through, you know what? Spend as much time out there as you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm not a. I understand that like these people are like propping up my family's business. Cut this, but like, but I mean you don't have to. But I understand there's I understand. How about this? You can put this part in.
Yeah, I'll cut that part.
The game of golf has grown, and that is ultimately better for the health of the game if we have more people playing. But I don't think that we've necessarily, in the United States at least, done a good job of setting examples for what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior on the golf course. So I think a lot of that's because people have there's people on the internet who they're playing golf. I'll go out and play golf. This kind of stooply crowd.
Yeah.
I have qualms with that. But ultimately, if the game grows and is successful because of that, then I think it may be a good thing in the long run.
Okay. No bias. Okay, no bias.
Yeah, no bias.
What is the best golf course in East Tennessee?
All right, we're gonna have to define where does East Tennessee begin and end. Does Knoxville count?
No.
Okay.
I want to do like from like Mossheim to like
Kingsport. Greene County to the
Yeah.
No bias.
No bias.
I mean, honestly, no bias. I honestly think Johnson City Country Club is the best.
Really? You're paying a pretty penny, right?
But not as much as you would at Blackthorn. The easiest, the common answer is Blackthorn at the Ridges. That's the common answer. It's a good golf course. It's in great shape.
Yeah. That's like $20K, right?
Something like that. It's brutal. It's in great shape. I think the design. Like, I get really into golf course design. I think the architecture, the design of the golf course leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
I think it's far too hard for the average player, and it's way too easy for a good player.
Okay.
It's kind of a product of a bad time in golf course design, which was the 90s when golf courses were designed exclusively for the sake of putting houses around them.
Okay.
And that really limited what architects were able to do. I think there's a lot of great holes out there, but I think there's a lot of just pure stinkers.
Yeah.
So, and you didn't ask me to like dump on Blackthorn, but I will. No, I think Johnson City, honestly. Now, Richfield's and Kingsport, that's a great layout. Cattails is the best public golf course. It's easy. It's no doubt. It's Cattails and Meadow.
Where is Cattails?
Right off of 26.
Because the only ones I've played at, I've played most of my games at Twin Creeks. That's the closest. I played at the other one in Chucky. What was it called?
Graceburg.
Yeah, Graceburg.
Yes.
I played at Andrew Johnson, and I played at the one in Johnson City.
Pine
Oaks. Yeah, and that's all I did. The cheap ones. Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to spend that much money.
Yeah,
on
those ones that you mentioned.
The working man's golf course.
Okay.
Which is the best around here?
I mean, probably Graceburg.
It is pretty.
The Crossings is good, and I've played a lot at the Crossings this summer. And credit to them, the golf course is getting a lot better. The shape, they're taking a lot better care of it than they used to. They're getting busier. I think, for all things considered, with price, because Graceburg, the thing you have to deal with, it's a little bit more expensive. The condition won't be as good, but you have 3 golf courses, but there's so many people who play, because you have people from Greenville, Washington County, Kingsport come and play, because it's kind of at a crossroads right there off 81.
Yeah.
I think that's for the working man's golf course, I think that's probably the normal, natural answer. I think it's actually the crossings. I think you get better value for what you're getting there, and I think the product's gotten considerably better in the last 2 years. And I play them all. The ones, I'll say this, I don't like pine, and this is just personal opinion. I'm not saying just don't go there. Don't go there.
He said it, guys.
I don't like pine oaks.
Wow.
I don't care much for Elizabeth. Wow.
I mean, I don't. I played there like twice. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it stinks.
Stinks.
I think there are irredeemable golf holes out there.
Name them.
Okay. Number 3 is one of the worst holes.
I know there's that one where you hit it and it goes into the road. Like if you slice it.
Yes, that's a bad hole.
Yeah.
Number 3 is a bad hole. Number 5, number 6, number 7.
Holy 6.
Yeah. Those are bad holes, and that's just the front 9.
Okay.
Back 9's better. But to answer your question, I think my recommendation. Okay, what's the best publicly accessible and moderately affordable golf course in the area? I would say the Crossings in Fall Branch.
Okay.
Yeah. Period. Point blank. Best facility. Great range. Probably the best range in the area. You know that public range you can go to.
Okay.
Great driving range. Putting green's pretty good. Golf course is fun. It's not too hard. There's usually not as many people out. You have to deal with crowds like you do at Pine Oaks or Elizabethton or Graysburg or Twin Creeks. I would say that's my vote.
Okay.
Now, a little upper tier, like if you're going to splurge once a month, Cattails is really good.
Okay.
Great golf course.
All right. Worst considering everything. Worst considering price, considering how it's set up, considering how it's like tended.
I mean, for me, it's Pine Oaks.
It's worse than Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew's dealing with some things that they can't really control.
Okay.
There's a lot of, they've had a lot of trouble with some of the equipment, because I think that's a great design. And the reason I don't say Andrew's the worst, the good golf carts and the design is awesome out there.
Okay.
Like the design.
I want to have an eye for
that place has a ton of potential. Pine Oaks, get that out.
Throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I mean, you're paying $45 to play a 5-hour round. Waiting behind Joe Schmo over here who's drank 97 beers. And he's lost 47 golf balls.
Yeah.
The design of the golf, the holes are terrible. You're paying too much. The public scene used to be a lot better when Buffalo Valley was open, because
where's that at?
It was on. You keep going on Roan, on South Roan, all the way you're going towards Irwin, and it was there. And it closed my freshman year of high school. Used to, the city of Johnson City ran 2 golf courses.
Yeah.
So Pine Oaks and Buffalo would share that crowd.
Okay.
But now Pine Oaks is the only public golf course in Johnson City.
Wow.
So they just get so much traffic and play. I would say save yourself. Every time I try to give that place a chance, I go out there and I'm just bitterly disappointed. Yeah. Is that too scathing for you?
No, I think the people deserve to know the truth.
Yeah,
from someone who knows their stuff.
That's just my opinion, and maybe it doesn't really fit my eye. I know a lot of people like it. To each their own, but no, get it out of
here. Yeah. Okay, just another little opinion piece here. Do you think they should be allowed to serve alcohol on golf courses?
Yeah, I do. Because if you don't, people are going to bring it. I think I think it's less about like whether it's being served and like actually what the consumers and the people are doing themselves. I don't think we actually. Here's the thing: in the UK and in Ireland, they will drink, but they'll drink after the round. They're not drinking during the round.
Yeah.
And at a lot of private golf courses, it's a similar thing. Let's go get a beer after the round. Let's not drink during the round. I don't think I'm not opposed or in favor of a golf course, selling. I don't think the problem is people buying beer at the golf course. I think a lot of the problem with drinking on golf courses is when people bring it themselves.
Okay.
Because you can. a lot of people were bringing, like 24 packs.
There are some freaks out there.
It's incredible. I mean, I remember at Twin Creeks. I remember one time, like you got to clean the golf carts out when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get rid of the trash, and I think it counted there were like 36 beer cans in one cart.
How can you even play if you're
that
buzzed?
Yeah, I've gotten drunk one time on a golf course, and that's like
never again.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a brief moment when you lose all inhibition and you play like unbelievably, but that lasts like 3 minutes at tops, and then you just completely lose all cognitive ability.
Yeah.
No, it's not fun, but I mean, if somebody gets their kicks that way, like. So, but to answer your question, I don't think like it matters whether a golf course sells it or not.
Yeah.
I think if I was a golf course, if I had a golf course, I'd probably sell beer.
Mm-hmm. And
that's because like I would rather, if we're gonna have it, I would rather us make money off of it instead of somebody bringing it themselves.
Okay. Yeah. Understandable.
I don't think there's any way you can get it off of it. I think the
way society is.
Yeah. I mean, I think the cat's out of the bag. Everybody's drinking on the golf course now.
Yeah. Can't hide it anymore.
Yeah.
One more little opinion question
for
you. If you were, let's say, you had a $1 billion check in the mail tomorrow,
sure. Yeah,
and you could.
Is it from you?
Does that change the answer?
No. I'm just curious.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
From Sean P. Gaffney.
Okay.
And you get it, $100 billion, but then I say to you, you have to use this to make a golf course.
Oh, okay.
How would you build your golf course? What would you do different? What would you offer? Would you make it for the working man? Would you make it for the rich man, for the fat man? What are you feeling?
If you play golf a lot, you inevitably think about this question.
Yeah.
So, and you didn't ask about where it'd be, but there's a piece of land in Leesburg that I've always driven by on the way to the crossings. Mm-hmm. It's a soybean farm.
Okay.
And it's on two sides of a road, and there is an old kind of deserted Presbyterian church there. Mm-hmm. I really think that's where it'd be. I've always thought that it's really rolling. It's open. Yeah. I think that I've always thought if I hit the lottery, I'm buying that, building a golf course.
Okay.
And it would be private.
Okay.
It would be private. That's just my preference.
Yeah. Make it a bit more pure.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like, you would be paying a premium, but you also would have a golf course largely to yourself, and you could play more, and you get more enjoyment out of it.
You get your money out of it.
You get your money out of it. I would want it to be pure golf. I wouldn't want the other trappings of private clubs like Blackthorn. They've got their tennis and pickleball, and
that sounded like it had some animosity behind it,
brother. And then they're fine dining and stuff. And clubs need to have a lot of that, but I would make it just. I would have the old deserted Presbyterian church is like a foundational landmark, and I would try to have 27 holes or 36 holes,
mm-hmm.
and I would want the design to be challenging and have a lot of. I would want it to be. I don't want there to be a lot of carries over water to where your beginners and average players have trouble with it,
mm-hmm.
but I would want there to be a lot of elements.
On the road. Greenville drivers.
Yeah, I think there would be. I think I'd want there to be a lot of elements that are challenging to a good player that make them think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The more a golfer thinks, I think that's the better. I would get the designer. I would get Bill Core and Ben Crenshaw. They're the best golf course designers in the world. I would have them take care of it. I'd want to model it after Cherokee Country Club in Knoxville,
mm-hmm.
And Sweetens Cove in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. I'd want a kind of a mixture of that. Big greens, a lot of undulation, a lot of natural bunkering. Not
mm-hmm.
a lot of trees. I don't want a lot of trees. No cart paths.
No cart paths.
No, I want there to be. I want it to be natural.
Okay.
I would want it to be able to. I would want somebody to get out of it what they would want. If someone's really competitive, I would want them to feel like this is a real sport. I'm doing sport now.
Yeah.
Or if they're out there looking like they're in a walk in the park, I'd want them to be able to feel that too. I would. I thought a lot about this question
mm-hmm.
For a long time. Yeah, I would want it to feel like something organic. is out there. Something
it's just a part of the world,
Something more akin to a link style and we can't have links this far inland. Links is a very specific type of golf course, and you have to have, and it deals with soil. But I would want the design to emulate that of golf courses, and I'd want the club structure to emulate that of the United Kingdom as well.
Okay.
Get back to the roots in a way that I feel like we've strayed a little bit in golf course design in this country in the last 30, 40 years.
I don't know much about golf course and design.
Sure.
But, like, you say design, like, is it more so just how they make them, or is it, like, how they've just let everyone in, and now it's like there's just too many people, or it's like they're trashing the course or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like not doing it the right way,
When I say design, I mean the actual layout of the holes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean like how you decide to like place a bunker here.
Okay.
Or how you decide what the green complex would look like, where the tees would be. That's what I mean when I say design.
Yeah.
And of course, when you think about design of a golf club, then you're thinking about like how the actual day-to-day operations and the facilities would look. But most of the time when I'm referring to golf course design, I'm referring to like the actual layout and arrangement of the holes.
Yeah.
And, whether it's par 4, par 3, par 5, how difficult it's going to be, what features the hole's going to have. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling.
I would want each hole to be memorable.
Yeah.
I would want to, for someone to come off the golf course, I don't want them to forget about a hole. I want them to be able to situate themselves in a hole.
Yes. Yeah. How much would the price be? Like in your mind, you're doing all the calculations. You want to make some money, but like it's more so about like the beauty of the sport. But like how much? What would you price that sort of experience at?
Per round, or like in monthly dues if it's a private place?
How do those types of places operate most of the time?
So I pay my dues at John City per month, and I get to play as much as I want.
Okay. Is that how you would do it at your place?
Yes.
Okay.
But I would also let guests come on and like say that if the guest, I've heard the guest rate of Blackthorn right now is like $160 per round. It would be a lot cheaper. It'd be $100 tops per round. I'd have separate, tiers of membership. If you're just a single like young person under 40, I would be a lot cheaper for you. If you were older and you wanted your family included, it'd be a lot more expensive. And if you were older, it'd be more expensive too, because you're probably going to use it a lot more. I would want there to be a good restaurant. I don't want a swimming pool. Maybe tennis courts, but
no pickleball courts.
No, we would stand against that.
Yeah. Heels on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take a stand at something.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem with this country. Nobody takes a stand.
You're exactly
anymore.
right. I mean, we let it's permissive society. It's a permissive world.
Yeah.
But no, I would have it be a club, but I wouldn't want it to be very difficult for a guest. I would want a guest to feel welcome when they come.
Yeah. Okay. One last question.
Okay.
Okay. If you had to pick any person in history to golf with today, who and why? And it doesn't have to be a golfer. It could just be a person.
Just one person, or can I like make a foursome?
If you want to make a foursome, you can make a foursome.
I've always... Yeah. I think... I'm trying to think. William Howard Taft was our first president who played. He'd be up on the list.
He was the first one who played?
He was the first one who really played.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taft would be up on the list. Bobby Jones, who the greatest amateur to ever live, signed Augusta National, founded Augusta National, where the Masters is held. He'd be up there. I think one more person.
Yeah.
Oh, John Updike. No, my final answer is John Updike, the writer.
Who's that?
He's probably the best American fiction writer of the last 50 years, in my opinion. I mean, besides like Cormac McCarthy, but he was a very avid player.
Okay.
And wrote a lot about the game too, in addition to his fiction. Golf actually features like heavily in some of his fiction, and he's written a lot of essays about the game. Most of his books, like there is a golf scene.
Mm-hmm.
He was a member at some good clubs. I think he was a member at Newport Country Club in Rhode Island, and I know he was a member at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts, which was one of the first country clubs in the United States. I would always loved reading his golf writing and his writing in general. Actually, that's my final answer. John Updike.
John Updike. That's the one you would pick over Taft. Over Taft.
Yeah, over Taft. Yeah, because I think Updike could play a lot better than Taft.
Yeah.
And with Taft, you would also have to worry about. You have to take a cart.
Yeah.
And then
wait. So even back then, they didn't have golf carts.
No, Taft was a walker.
Yeah. Yeah. So you wouldn't have to take it. He could walk.
That's true. Yeah, and Updike and I would definitely walk.
Where we got all this stuff here. Where does golf go next? Like it's gotten so big after COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
What's the next frontier?
Well, the USGA. Here's the thing. The actual playing of the game, the USGA is planning on putting limits on the golf ball and how far it can go because it's gone farther and further every single year.
Do they put stuff in the golf ball to make it go further?
They originally the golf balls underwent a lot of changes in technology and design. But to simplify it, until 1998, it was a wound ball, basically a bunch of really tightly strung rubber bands, and the core, the outside of it was a lot kind of softer.
Yeah.
So the ball would actually would spin a lot more and be affected, and it was a lot harder to hit it straight and long. And then Titleist introduces what's called the Pro V1, where the core they replaced those. It's a solid core. It's just like a couple layers. Like there's a hard level of like urethane at the outside, and then a couple other like materials on the inside that are very hard and compact. Yeah. And the ball actually flies straighter and farther than it does now. Yeah. And instead of having to hit them with woods, you're hitting them with the traditional driver used to be about this big. Yeah. And now they're this big. Yeah. It's a lot easier to hit it. So that's one of the ways that golf is actually going to change pretty soon. The United States Golf Association is going to actually put some regulations on the golf ball to make it spin more again. Okay. And that looks like it'll mostly affect the professional level. But I could see, because they understand that like as the ball goes further and further and further like this, we're going to have to build golf courses that are a lot longer. Yeah. Like let's just say John C. Country Club, which was built in 1913, it's par 72. It's, what is it, 6,500 yards, 6,500 yards, it's something like that. They just played the United States Golf. They used to play the U.S. Open at a golf course that was 7,400 yards. There's golf courses in Alabama now that are 8,200 yards. And just think about how much water it takes to actually maintain those places, how much land you actually need. Yeah. They've realized this is unsustainable. Yeah. They're going to have to, and also for the sake of competition, like the guys are not better or more athletic or whatever, like a lot of the manufacturers claim. And there's a lot of vested interest too, because Titleist wants to, and a lot of the other companies want to keep the golf ball going as far as they can and keep pushing. Yeah. So they can sell more equipment because they can say, look, this is actually making you better, which it is. But I would say that the direction golf goes might actually push some of the people who've got in out because the game might actually get harder. But I think in the long run, it's something that the USGA and the R&A, which is the world body, they have to do. Because we can't build 8,000-yard golf courses. Yeah, there's not enough land. Yeah, I'm thinking it's getting to a point now, we're going to keep doing it, you're going to run out of room. You are literally going to run out of room. Yeah. You're exactly. And then when you get there, then where do you go? It breaks. You're exactly. We cannot. It's like we have an engine that's like on overdrive right now, and unless we actually let our foot off the throttle, we're gonna blow it up. Yeah. You know, and I think it's a long overdue thing, and it needs to happen. And I think a lot of people are gonna hate it at first, but ultimately for the good of the game, in the professional game especially, it needs to happen because we don't need people shooting 25 under par every tournament. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually optimistic for it, where a lot of people are pessimistic about it. Okay. So, I've heard a little bit about this little country overseas called Saudi Arabia, and they're paying Americans these big bucks to go play golf, and they're poaching them from us. Yeah.
Do you have any strong feelings about that?
I used to have strong feelings on it, but now I'm at the point where it seems like a merger between the Saudi League, the Live League, and the PGA Tour is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so the strong feelings that I would have had 2 to 3 years ago, there's so much news about it, and it's become so ubiquitous. I used to say I would never watch the Live League. I can't watch it. I can't participate in sports washing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But now, if they've been very smart with, they schedule their tournaments against like the worst PGA Tour tournaments where like the tour guys are like not the big names, and it's like if I can watch some of these big names that have went to Live play, like I'll watch it. I won't be happy about the product. I think it's a bad product ultimately, but.
Yeah, because don't they do like you gotta? It's like
there's
it's some gimmick.
Gimmick. They all shotgun start at the same time. It's only 3 rounds. That's why it's Live. So it's Roman numerals 54. So they're only playing 54 holes. And they're doing it at pretty bad golf courses, frankly, because a lot of courses are afraid that the PGA Tour won't come to them anymore if they participate with them. Mm-hmm. But I think ultimately the way it looks is that the Saudi money is so overwhelming in the PGA Tour money. They just can't match it, mm-hmm. and I don't think PGA Tour's innocent in this. I think they've done a really poor job of actually like protecting the quality of the game.
Yeah,
I think they deserve a lot of blame for this. Also for not recognizing the distinct threat to their business that the Saudis were in the first place. Because the Saudis asked to be involved, like 2021, and the tour just said no, which was a principled stand at the time, but it ultimately becomes like, all right, we're just going to do our own thing, and we're going to put you out of business, where it's become an existential threat for the tour.
Yeah,
I think it's become there's so much money and there's so much prize money involved now that I think for the average fan, it's become a pretty jading kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
To the point now where the only time that the guys from Live and the PGA Tour always play together at 4 majors throughout the year, to where those things were truly the only things that mattered for a long time, but they're especially the only things that matter now.
Yeah.
So I'm increasing. I used to watch every week. Used to watch tour every week, especially when I was in high school and early in college. Now I have no desire anymore. And they play legitimately every week of the year.
Yeah.
They have a tournament every week of the year. Mm-hmm. It's so stupid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with golf overall, what are you like? So with golf overall, what have you like gotten back from it, from putting in all these hours, from your highs and your lows?
Yeah.
What is like, you're past your college career. You've had your good, you've had your bad. What are you getting out of it now? What are you hoping to get out of it for the rest of your life?
It gave me a will and a purpose that I didn't know I had.
Mm-hmm.
It got me out of the house. It got me off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
It got me into creation. And it gave me an outlet to express myself and parts of myself that I didn't know I had. It makes me feel like an artist. It makes me feel like a mathematician. It makes me feel, like an athlete.
Yeah.
In a way that nothing else ever had or ever could have imagined. So if I never played another round of golf, I'd be eternally grateful to the game. Mm-hmm. But thankfully, I will play another round of golf.
Yeah.
And sometimes more than others, but there is an element of the sublime out there that I have not been able to find at any other.
Yeah, there's always something to chase.
There's always something out there. There's always some beautiful moment when like you're over the ball, you're at address, and you have a club in your hand. But if you just look up and out and you look at around you, mm-hmm. you look at what you get to do. There's a moment of connectivity with the earth and with other people and yourself that you don't get anywhere else. So that's what I'm still chasing. I'm still chasing that, and it's a competitive outlet for me, even if I'm not competing against other people anymore.
Yeah,
I can compete against myself in the golf course, and it's almost taken like this weird kind of approach to where I used to be okay if I played bad, but if I beat somebody else. But now I'm just trying to beat the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to take what it gives me and conquer it myself in the process.
Yeah,
it's this weird kind of like place where self-actualization can happen.
Mm-hmm.
in a way that I don't know if other sports are capable of that. I'm sure they are, but in my experience, it's the one that's most capable of that, because you are truly on an island out there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Like, golf is, people say golf's unfair. It's the most fair game. It's the most like life. You can play poorly and you end up okay. You can play great. You can do well and you lose,
mm-hmm.
or you tie even. You know, because life is not this kind of, you don't have a scorecard of life that you sign, but life is this composition of emotions and feelings, and it's the one thing that I get in my daily life that feels most like life to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't regret anything. I don't regret the work. I don't regret those hours. It saved me in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we live in a very scary world where a lot of things change. You know, there's a lot of different things going on.
Yeah.
But like, golf is very. We mentioned it earlier. It's very steady. It doesn't really change.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what changes, you can go to the golf course and it'll be exactly the same.
You're exactly right.
It'll be nothing will be different. Like the grass will be cut basically the exact same.
Yeah.
Using the same clubs, ball will be the same, and the only thing that's different is you.
Yeah.
So.
It's this great battle with yourself and of the elements and of technology. It's this great mixture of it all, and you're trying to chase something. You're always trying to chase something that you can't get, and it doesn't exist, but you still try,
mm-hmm.
and you meet wonderful people in the process, and you go to places that you never could have imagined you get to go, and you get to see what you're made of.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I could. It was perfect for me then. It was perfect for me today, and it'll be perfect for me in the future.
Well, Seth, thank you for
thanks for having me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you can make it affordable in your own way. You don't have to buy a bag for $500 at all. You don't have to buy a $200 pair of shoes. You
mm-hmm.
don't have to buy everything brand new all at once. So it's I think there's some bit of misconception about the money in golf. That's probably there needs to be a conversation about.
Uh-huh.
But I think and here's the problem with golf too. The equipment prices are becoming unsustainable. Green fees are becoming unsustainable, and how much water we're using and how big the golf courses have to be are becoming unsustainable because it's in the company's interest to keep the technology going and to keep this train going. And so when you have like shocks in supply chain like the tariffs, they'll just it's the tariffs problem.
Yeah,
but
not our problem.
But like the tariffs are disrupting chains and raising prices, but the prices have been going up for 10 years now in a
mm-hmm.
way that and they will all do that together. If Titleist or Callaway raise the prices, TaylorMade and the other companies are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that's just, of course, like duh, that's what happens.
Nature of the beast.
Yeah, but there's some of these companies are making an incredible amount of profit right now. Look at Callaway's. Look at their publicly traded company. You can find out how much money they're making, and it's obscene.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Bears.